Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump signed the bill. Shalom. Let me just say shalom to everybody in the chat. And today, Donald Trump signed the bill to reopen the government. So it was signed today. And the thing is, they only funded the government up until the end of January. So up until January 31st, it has been funded. Well, there's a lot of people anticipating that we're going to have another shutdown in January. We shall see. It's not far-fetched, especially with the stuff that's going on now, especially with Epstein and those emails that came out. It's definitely not far-fetched at all, because we know how Donald Trump runs from this kind of stuff. But we shall see. So I have some videos I'm going to have you watch, and everybody's talking about the reopening of the government. So, hopefully the SNAP people will all be taken care of nationwide instead of just people in different states. It'll be all across the country, and everybody can get back to work. Now, some people were fired while on furlough, which, is illegal because they have in their contracts that they can't be fired on furlough. Well, Donald Trump, we know Donald Trump don't follow rules. He doesn't care what the rules are. And if he wants to fire you, that's exactly what he will do. And that's exactly what he's done. So I don't know if those folks will be brought back because that has happened before or not. But everybody should be getting their salaries and back pay. Now, Donald Trump has been very vocal about not giving back pay, again, which is a violation of the federal contract that these folks are under. So let's see what happens if this comes up over the next couple of days, or he'll just quietly pay everybody and everybody just move on. These folks, they need their money. I'm sure they're behind on bills and struggling and need to get food in the house. They need to get completely caught up. So, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen. Go. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
The House voted 222 to 209 to approve legislation to fund the government through the end of January, which means that it'll potentially shut down again after January. The Democrats who supported this bill were Jared Golden of Maine, Adam Gray of California, Mary Gluesenkamp Perez of Washington, Don Davis of North Carolina, Henry Cuellar of Texas, and Tom Suozzi of New York. The two Republicans to oppose it were Thomas Massey of Kentucky and Greg Steube of Florida. In the end, the Democrats were unable to secure the extension of healthcare subsidies.
Everyone does realize that the government shutdown, once it ends, it's only funded through January 30th. I really hate this game that they're allowed to play. Because had we moved when we were supposed to move through the government, we would be one of those people that are fucked right now. So what you're saying is they delayed the fucking and they're going to get us in January. Why would they do that? Because one of the biggest shopping days of the year, if not the biggest, is what? And flying days, day after Thanksgiving. Keep trusting the government, y'all. Either side. Go ahead, do what you want. Personally, it'd be a cold day in hell for me.
So my question is, this CR is only good until January, and if they do not bring up ACA standalone bill in December, could the Democrats potentially close the government again in January? Yes, that is the whole point. That is the whole fucking point. That's what I've been trying to explain for the last 2 fucking days. This is a CR that gets us to the end of January. That's it. That's it. That's all this is. So come January 2026, if the ACA subsidies haven't been dealt with, then we're right back where we are today, and the government shuts back down, just like it did on October 1st. It's the same fucking thing. What the fuck did we lose? Nothing. That's the whole point. Yes, it shuts down again. That is the whole goddamn point. That's the point. They tried to put us in a pickle by what Johnson in the House passed in September was a continuing resolution till November 21st. And basically what they told the Democrats is you've got till October 1st to pass this continuing resolution, and then you've got till November 21st to pass our full budget. And if you don't pass our full budget by November 21st, we're not dealing with ACA subsidies, and the government's going to shut down, and it's going to be your fault. Okay. And they tried to put us on the clock and make us responsible. And what they tried to say was, after you pass our full budget in December, we'll talk ACA subsidies. And we said, no, that's not good enough. We got them to agree to a January continuing resolution and told them, now it's your turn. It's your responsibility. You said you wanted to deal with ACA subsidies in December. You've got till the end of January. You deal with ACA subsidies, we'll talk to you about your budget. And if they don't, then the government shuts down again. That is the whole fucking point. That is the whole point. Yes.
President's signature. It's officially over. Local 10's Ross Ketchke is in Washington with the latest.
Good morning. It took 6 weeks, more than a dozen votes, and one brutal political fight here in Washington, but the longest government shutdown in U.S. history is officially over. President Trump signing a bill putting an end to the longest government shutdown in U.S. history.
This is no way to run a country. I hope we can all agree that the government should never be shut down.
Y'all crying now about them food stamps, EBT or whatever you want to call it. But wait until they hit you with them Section 8, okay? Because Section 8 and food stamps is two different beasts, all right? You probably can go to the food pantry with the food stamps and get yourself some food probably for the month or something like that. But let me tell you something. When they shut off that Section 8, that's messing with everybody's money. Not only the people who's received Section 8, but when they don't receive Section 8, they can't pay their landlord. And their landlord have to pay other people. So when you stop paying the landlord, you leave the landlord no other choice but to rent to somebody who can pay the rent. You understand? I know too many people who also have rental property that rent their property out to the government. What's going to happen to them when they can't receive? Some of those people got mortgage to pay. They just only use the opportunity to rent the property out to the government. What's going to happen when they don't receive their money? They got to pay their mortgage. They wasn't expecting that. And I know a lot of people who's made a life of just buying property and renting it out to the government and having the government to pay them for Section 8. What happens when all of that stops? What can they do? So Section 8 is a whole different beast. So you better hold on to something right now, because let me tell you something. When they start messing with that Section 8, and I understand because I really do believe that people need to divorce these government programs, because you see how is it going? And I understand economics a lot, why they have to do certain things, because too many people got their hands in the pot, okay? And that's what's messing up the system right now. I understand how it goes, okay? But I'm just saying, when they hit that, when they start on that Section 8, that's going to hurt a lot of people, okay? Not just the recipient, the people who's getting the Section 8, but we talking about the landlords. We're talking about investors. We're talking about a whole lot of people who's not going to get paid by the government starting January. Think about it.
It has happened. The government is officially reopened as of around 10:25 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. However, this is only for another 80 days, so this is only to fund the government through the end of January. Government workers have been advised to please show up to work on Thursday the 13th, and those who were furloughed during this time, there is not yet a pay schedule as to when they will receive their back pay. However, the essential workers that have been working this entire time, they should receive theirs in the next couple of days, at least part of it up to about 70%. That was the agreement with the TSA. For other agencies, it may be different. And regarding the airports and the delays and everything like that, Sean Duffy did say that it may take a few weeks for everything to iron out and get back to normal. So it's not like Thursday, everything just magically is going to be back on, as the airlines have been cutting flights and now they would need to reschedule them or get things back up. There's also people that have been kind of fatigued from working for 40 something days without any pay. So it may take about 2 weeks to get everything at the airport back up and running. Additionally, Republicans did make a promise that in December they will meet about the Affordable Care Act subsidies, which provides health insurance to people who are lower income and cannot afford the high premiums. And that date for that meeting has not been set as of yet.
So I had to pull over for this shit. So y'all telling me the Atlanta mayor really suspended y'all rent and y'all water bills and shit, and y'all ain't got to pay no rent or nothing until goddamn it January 2026? Is that what the fuck I just read? Is that what I just heard? Damn! We need to move to fucking Atlanta. How the fuck? I didn't even know the mayor was capable of doing that. Hey, salute to that man. Salute. I forgot his motherfucking name, but he ain't my man, no way. But salute to the Atlanta mayor for looking out for his people, because he is black. Salute to that man for looking out for his people. And I'm telling you, his wife she better be doing him justice. Because I'm telling you, it's probably going to be bitches lined up, ready to get him whatever he want at any time. You can get it. Damn, he really stopped y'all rent until January? That shit crazy. Can you imagine what the fuck I would do with? I'd be up. If I ain't had to pay my rent to January, I'd be up. Oh my God. I'll be up right now. That shit crazy. Salute to him though.
I continually find it hilarious how MAGA supporters continue to vote for Republicans when Republicans are so fucking transparent. Since Trump's government shutdown started, they've been trying to blame everything on the Democrats, when the Democrats are just trying to stop Republicans from taking away everybody's health care and their health benefits. The Republicans' plan would end up skyrocketing people's health care costs and kick over 20 million people off of their health insurance. And no matter what you think about the Democrats and how wishy-washy they've been in the past, this is a line in the sand for them. They are standing their ground, and we should all be proud of that. Because all of the lashing out that Trump has done, firing more federal employees, taking away SNAP, and letting people starve, that's him just throwing a temper tantrum because he's not getting what he wants. But now even the Republicans in his own caucus are pissed off. Because while Mike Johnson refuses to reconvene the House because he's afraid of there being a vote on the Epstein files, people like Dan Crenshaw and Marjorie Taylor Greene are sitting there screaming, we should be back at work trying to get the government running. They realize how horrible this looks on the Republican Party. They have control over all three branches of government, yet they're not able to pass a funding bill? You'll notice that the only other president in modern history who had control over all three branches of government and still allowed a shutdown was Trump. But the Republicans are letting it slip that the entire plan here is just to make people upset and wear down the Democrats. And throughout this whole process, the Democrats have even been saying that they would support bills to pay for SNAP and air traffic controllers. The Democrats also tried introducing a bill to pay the military during the shutdown, and all of the Republicans voted against it, only to swoop in and say, we as the Republicans and Trump are going to pay the military, because they always love pretending to solve problems they fucking created. But like I said, the Republicans are openly admitting that their whole point was just to wear down the Democrats and make people miserable. Because with federal workers' unions calling for Congress to pass a continuing resolution, the Republicans are convinced that they are close to breaking the Democrats' will on the government shutdown. They are calling on the Democrats to help pass a stopgap bill on the Republicans' terms. As we've seen, the Democrats are holding strong on this. It's the Republicans that are getting cracks in their armor. And that's the way it should be, because with Mike Johnson refusing to even reconvene the House, when this whole bullshit started, Trump told the Republicans in Congress himself to not negotiate with Democrats. So the Republicans wanted to shut down the government, they wanted to purposefully hurt the American people, and now they're going to own this bullshit. And no matter what you think about the political environment and what it will be in 2026, the Republicans already knew that they were up shit creek. And now Trump is urging the Senate to stop the filibuster in order to push through his bullshit funding bill without consent. And despite this being a terrible option, he's been saying the Republicans can't end the shutdown by themselves. This is him admitting they can. And historically, whenever the party in power votes to raise people's taxes, raises prices, or causes a government shutdown, they get absolutely hammered in the next cycle. And Republicans have done every single one of those.
It was exactly 6 weeks ago that the federal government was thrust into a shutdown, disrupting government services and blocking federal workers from getting paid. Now the shutdown is coming to an end after a crucial vote on the House floor.
The bill is passed.
This was the moment that nearly every Republican and a handful of Democrats approved of a funding measure to keep the government open through the end of January.
While the Democrats keep voting to shut their government down, Republicans are going to vote to open it back up.
Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson muscling the vote through despite thin margins.
We're not going to waste any more time of the people.
The agreement funds the government through the end of January at mostly current levels. It includes 3 full-year appropriations bills that will fund programs such as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. But this measure does not include extending the expiring Affordable Care Act enhanced subsidies that Democrats made their central demand.
It's wrong, but we're voting no.
I think it is a raw deal for the American people.
For some Americans, this is going to be a death sentence.
An overwhelming majority of House Democrats were opposed to the funding plan.
The bill as amended was passed.
And fumed over the handful of Senate Democrats who broke with their party to advance it Monday night.
And we cannot enable this kind of cruelty with our cowardice.
Although the legislation does not extend the expiring healthcare subsidies, Senate Majority Leader John Thune agreed to hold a vote on the extension by mid-December, but there's no guarantee that we'll have the votes to pass or even be considered in the House. Most Republicans, including President Donald Trump, have opposed these enhanced subsidies, arguing it's throwing good money after bad.
What it's really trying to do is mask the failure of Obamacare to do what it said it would do, which is lower healthcare costs and make it more affordable.
On Wednesday, House Democrats filed what's called a discharge petition to try and force a vote on the extension.
We'll fight this month. We'll fight next month. We'll fight until we win this battle for the American people.
And President Donald Trump quickly signed the funding measure Wednesday night, officially ending the government shutdown.
This is no way to run a country. I hope we can all agree that the government should never be shut down again.
Now, this 43-day shutdown set records as the longest in American history. But if lawmakers can't pass another funding measure by the end of January, they could once again be facing a shutdown. Reporting here on Capitol Hill, I'm Evan Kozloff, Spectrum News.
These folks would do it just to get on everybody's nerve. Seriously, y'all. You know, this is what sucks about this country. These politicians got so much power that it can literally influence the entire dynamic of the country. I mean, look at what they did to people just in a 6-week period. It put people in food lines that they said they never ever had to be in before. It put people in debt because they couldn't pay their bills. And look at everything it just caused in such a short period of time. And just the thought that this can happen all over again in January. I don't know. This place, I think this place has been gone for years. It's almost like we're just getting up every day going through the motions. But, you know, these folks, they gonna hang on for dear life as far as being in charge, despite the fact that I have said this before in the past, and I say it again, they are horrible leaders. They have been horrible in this country. Their leadership has been the worst in the world as far as I'm concerned. They shouldn't be allowed to run a dog pound. I can see why the Most High put these folks at the bottom and would not let them lead. You can clearly see why. It's very apparent. But everything will be back in order in its due time. Hopefully, that'll be real soon because I think we're all tired of this. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. This is going to be my final live for today. And I'm hoping that each and every one of you will have a wonderful evening and be well rested so that we can do this all over again tomorrow. Shalom, family.